Hello brothers and welcome back to another video. So Adepticon is less than 2 days away, and we all know by now that these big events show off big things when it comes to GW products. I actually really want to go to Adepticon. I couldn't make it this year, maybe next year. If I start saving some cash, put a little bit away each month, I can attend next year's one, and hopefully maybe there's a Primark announced next year. I could be the first one to see it. Yay! So this video is basically me just going to go through what I personally think is going to be showing off, and maybe what the plan is for GW for the future range of their models when it comes to campaigns and all that kind of stuff. So let's jump in and let's get started. So the Black Legion range, it has basically all been shown off now. There still is that Sorcerer backpack which hasn't been revealed to be a model as of yet. I'm thinking maybe it could be doing with Blackstone Fortress. Maybe that is like, you know, a kind of new expansion where they have a Chaos Sorcerer in it or something like that. I'm not too sure, but as far as we know, all the Black Legion stuff has been revealed. Abaddon is out, the Space Marines are out, the Vigilus book is up for pre-order. Well, everything is either up for pre-order or is already out at the moment. So what is the next step for Games Workshop? Where are they going to look to next for Warhammer 40k? I personally think Sisters of Battle are going to receive a lot of love at Adepticon, because if I remember correctly, it was at Adepticon they first got announced with the whole rebrand of the range, you know, getting new models, doing all the current range again, spicing them up to make them fit with the, you know, the current design and all that kind of stuff. So I would personally like it if GW said, okay, we announced it at this Adepticon, and now at this Adepticon coming, we're actually going to preview more of the range. And when I say preview more of the range, I don't mean 3D renders. I like the 3D renders, don't get me wrong, but I actually want to see physical models now from GW. I want to see the painted models, I want to see vehicles, I want to see flyers, I want to see that awesome stuff which I associate with the Sisters of Battle. Now, we all know that the Sisters of Battle are due out this year, but when? That is the burning question. The rumour is at the moment is around November time. They're going to be coming right before Christmas, which is kind of good business. Well, I do say it's good business sense, because around Christmas time anyway, you basically get in the Battle Force boxes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm wondering if they release the Sisters in November, like the Codex and, you know, models and stuff, then maybe do like a Sisters of Battle Force box set around Christmas as well. I'm sure that will give people a little bit of a nudge into buying that box set. I think I would be tempted to buy one if I can save a ton of cash, what you normally do in these Battle Force box sets is anyway. A lot of people have said, I wonder if they're going to show off more Primaris stuff. I personally would love that, but I don't see it at the moment, since we've just had Shadow Spear, we've just had basically all the Vanguard Marines and, you know, all that stuff that associate with them. We've basically had our Primaris fill for now, I would say. But, you know, if something was to happen again, I'm hoping here, this is just me just smiling to myself. I really wish they would show us a new transport. Oh, do you know what? A new transport flyer. That would, like, combine two of my greatest things into one. A Primaris flyer, and it can transport my Marines around the field as well. I'm not going to get my hopes up, because every time I do about Primaris transport, I get shot down in the most greatest wreckage you can ever imagine. So I'm putting that to the back of my mind at the moment. I do think we'll get some love for the skirmish games as well. And when I talk about skirmish games, I'm talking about the ones which you haven't really seen but have been announced. So Combat Arena, that 4-player basically arena game where you pick a character, you jump in, and I suppose it's like the last one who's living survives and, you know, wins the game. Hopefully it's something like that. And of course we have the new Kill Team expansion, which is called Kill Team Elites. Now, with Elites, of course, you bring Elites to Kill Team. So for me, being a Custodi fanboy, I can bring Custodies to it. I don't know how many Custodies I can bring. People say, well, you're only going to be able to bring one. But because it's Elites, I'm wondering, you can only play Kill Team Elites with other elites, you know, do you know that so it makes sense that way. So, you know, I can field like maybe a 5-man custody unit, and you can, you know, maybe field like a 5-man crisis suit team or something like that if you're a Tau player. I'm not too sure, so this is why I really hope we get some more information about how the game is and what kind of points and how it works and all that kind of stuff. And now with Vigilus, basically, well, I don't say the story's ended now, because if you've watched my spoiler video, I think there's more going to be happening. I'm wondering if we're going to get some more stuff on the actual narrative campaigns. Now, with Vigilus itself, that's still an open ending. Again, watch my video if you haven't watched it already. But I'm wondering if they're going to announce any more narrative campaigns. Now, for one, I would really like to happen would be something surrounding Armageddon, Because there's one thing which a lot of people were quite, I say, miffed off about when the Orc release came out, is that the vehicles came out, which was fine and cool, but the characters like Gazskull, the boys needed definitely updating their poses and stuff. When you compare them to like other factions now who've had that update, the boys just seem so out of place. So I'm wondering, if the next campaign is announced, is it got to be something like Armageddon, and we'll see Gazskull turning up there? Maybe that's where he receives his models, because now the way GW seem to be doing things is when there's a narrative story and there's books released around that narrative story, it's filled with rules for new characters, and one of the new characters could be Gazskull. One of the new characters could also be, you know, like Helbrecht or Grimaldus. We know that I think it was Helbrecht who was like still in hot pursuit of him, his anger and all that kind of stuff. So maybe they can work it in that way, and like the Black Templars may be receiving some, you know, Templar upgrade sets, and maybe they'll get some more rules and all that kind of stuff. I'm just basically wishing to myself here, hopefully they'll do that, because I'm a massive Templar fan, and anything that will give me Chaplain Grimaldus, Primaris Chaplain Grimaldus, I am completely 100% on board with. A lot of people keep saying, I wonder if they're going to announce a new faction as well. Now there's a couple of choices here you can go with. Now there's, of course, there's the Xenos ones and stuff like that, but I think a lot of people at the moment want some new Chaos factions. I know some people probably say, oh, we've got enough Chaos stuff. I know, I can understand where you're coming from, but a lot of people really want the Dark Mechanicus. And with some of the demon engines we've been getting lately, you know, the guy riding his spider tank, the actual big spider tank itself, maybe these are like the initial designs for that range, and, you know, maybe soon we'll be getting more stuff, and that'll lead into like a full-on Dark Mechanicus range. I know a lot of people really want Dark Mechanicus in 40k, and I personally think it would work well as well. You know, it's basically like Armor Cannons. You can team them up with the Imperium, you know, use all their war engines and stuff like that, and, you know, it would really work out very well. And the next one is the Traitor Guard. Now there's a lot of Traitor Guard mentioned in the Vigilus Ablaze book. Again, I'm not going to go into spoilers who it is. I'll be doing that when I get my book and more details and all that kind of stuff. But with the recent release of Blackstone Fortress, which had basically some of the, you know, the Traitor Guard models, and I'm doing air quotes here, and of course now you have the Traitor Ogirin model, and you have the Traitor Commissar, which is also an expansion for Blackstone Fortress. Maybe these as well are initial designs for that range, which they're basically putting out now, and then we'll get another range announced, which will be the Traitor Guard. I think it would be awesome if we had Traitor Guard, because the Traitor Guard are such a big part when it comes to 40k, and it kind of sucks at the moment that you really only take cultists, or you have to basically buy Imperial Guard and buy a ton of bits to make them look like Traitor Guard. So if they went on and just added the next step themselves and just did the Traitor Guard, made them, you know, a Chaos Imperial Guard force, I think it would be absolutely fantastic for the range. Now, there is, of course, one thing which we all should be behind, we all should be rooting for, we all should be cheering, and that is, of course, another Primarch returning to Warhammer 40,000. Traitor or Loyalist, you can decide. Now, personally, being a Loyalist, I would love a Loyalist, but I'm not going to hold back if they say, you know, oh, it's another Traitor Primarch. I'm not going to go, oh my god, I'm going to rage. I'm going to rage. If they just bring any Primarch back, you know me by now, I'm going to be a happy chappy. And I think we deserve one. I think we're long overdue a Primarch to return and, you know, try and mess something else that much up a little bit more in the story, because when a Primarch does come back, it really does add to the story. Again, Loyalist for me would be either the Lion or us. I think personally I would like the Lion because he's so antisocial, and seeing Gilliman in the place of power, which he really wants, I think that would make really good story. But I'd also like Russ as well, because Old Man Russ, or Odin Russ, again air quotes, coming back a bit more wiser, a bit more grown up, a bit more mature, would be a pretty cool thing as well. I would love to see that more like really Odin-esque Leman Russ. It'd be so cool. And he won't come back as Wolfen. Let me just say that. He's not going to come back with like a huge wolf head. So yeah, just get that out of your mind right now. Whatever happens, I'm sure it's going to be emotional. I'm sure it's going to be fun. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be amazing. Of course, what we normally tend to do over on this channel is that we have like a little pre-party, let's call it, like a little pre-party stream before Adepticon happens, because we all stay up all night and we're all jumping in chat, we're all laughing. discussing our hopes and dreams for the event, what's going to be revealed. It's mostly Primarch talk, I'm not going to lie. It's like, oh yes, Rogel Dawn's coming back. Oh yes, Libra Rusty's coming back. It's mostly stuff like that. But whatever happens, I'm sure it's going to be amazing. And of course, as soon as what is like put out there and stuff like that, I'll be doing videos and over on the channel and all that kind of stuff. So if you do want to go to sleep and you don't want to stay up like a madman like me all night, then just wake up and I'll have all the videos waiting for you right there. Right, that is me done for another video. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you all very, very soon, and bye-bye. See ya, and good day.